Our Spec Miata race will be starting up here just very shortly, and we're honored to have a very special guest interview for this race, Alex Bertagnoli. Alex, you won 2 races here early in the season, your last race of the year. Got to start towards the back of the field. Take us through the strategy potentially for the race today.
Oh man, well me and my team, we were kind of struggling to figure out what tire we were going to run for this because we were thinking, oh, rain on the radar, oh, rain, no rain, we weren't sure what to do. So we thought we'd throw the slicks on, just take a risk, and, going to keep my eyes open on that first lap and make up as many positions as possible in this race.
Obviously, yeah, rain tires do play a big condition here for this race. What do you think track conditions going to be out there? It's starting to dry up a little bit, but with these clouds just floating back here behind us, you never know what's going to happen.
Well, I think at first, at least judging off the live stream, it's going to be a little damp in the beginning, and tires might be a little slick on those first couple laps and on the start. But I think as long as we just keep it clean and, hopefully no rain comes around, I think we'll be able to get some heat in the tires, and then we'll be right back up to pace.
And obviously, you're an in-car camera driver here for today's race. You got all the extra camera equipment in there. How's it feel being the in-car camera driver? It feels a little bit of extra pressure with you?
Oh, man, I'm honored. But, I try not to think about that stuff when I'm out there, just trying to keep the pressure off my back and just looking to have some fun today. So.
Well, good luck to you. Alex Bertagnoli going for his 3rd win of the year, starting from 17th here in our Oktoberfest Spec Miata race. Up to Jeremy Scott in the booth, along with Jordan Missick in just a second.
All right, thanks, Matt. We are just 3 minutes away from starting the final race of the year. The final race of the day, and it's the most exciting one. It is Spec Miata Racing. 35 cars are set to take the call for 12 laps of racing. This is this is what we all look forward to, is how this race will be run. And again, I want to thank everybody here at the Autobahn Country Club, our production staff, the members committee, and really everyone who makes it possible for us to do this race. We've seen some great racing here today, and I think we're going to see some more here in just a little bit. This is the most competitive series, not just here at the Autobahn Country Club, but across the country. Thousands of racers weekly race their Miatas at tracks all across North America. And as somebody who works in announcing, it's kind of rare for me to say this, but we're joined by the previous race winner, Jordan Missick, and I've got to say, I talked to Christian afterwards. I told him, like, dude, that was a fantastic race. He goes, that race was so hard.
Yeah, honestly, I will say that's probably the hardest race I've ever had to drive here at the Autobahn. Been here for like, 6-7 years racing here, and that was tough. That was just tire management, everything a race car driver has to do. A culminator one, and especially when you got a talent like Christian behind the wheel too, pushing you along like we did. Yeah, that was tough. But all in all, it was probably, we both could say that was probably one of the most fun races we've ever had out here.
I was going to say, I've never seen both of you guys look so tired after coming out of a race car. I've seen a lot of your races. I've watched you guys race on ovals. I've watched you guys race on street courses, road courses. I saw both of you guys, and your eyes are like, oh, my Lord, that was tough.
Well, I probably would say for the both of us, probably was the most toughest race we've ever been. I'd say it doesn't compare really much to Lucas Oil Raceway, for sure. But definitely one of the toughest races we've ever had to do here. I could say that. So that was something that we just had to be cognizant of the entire time. You couldn't rest. You couldn't really take a step off and, save stuff if you wanted to. I mean, and especially on rain tires, the tires were just going away and away throughout the course of the battle. So I think, we both showed our talents there, and it paid off really well for both of us.
All right, I'm going to let you take a little breather because I'm going to go through the bottom half of the field, and I'll let you go through the top half. 35 cars will be taking the green flag. Jean-Joe Duane will be rounding out the field in his number 66 in row 17. The 31 of John Joe Duane, who, by the way, I think, doesn't he still have a competition for trying to get votes for the best pass of the year?
Voting's closed, but I think we might have done enough. But I don't know exactly. But I know the vote closed last week. But nonetheless, If you haven't seen that pass, talk to John about it. It's some kind of pass for sure.
Yeah, I think I saw that one live because you got to watch, MX5 Cup, obviously, even if it is with the volume down. John Joe Duane in the 31 will be alongside Gary Diverso in the 72. That's row 17. Row 16 is the 97 of John Southard and the 100 of Jason Greenwood. Row 15, the 9 of Bill Hamble and the 23 of Mark Basso. Mark is making his return to Spec Miata Racing. Row 14 will be the 3 of Tom Bagley and the 171 of Joe Miklos. 13th row, we'll see the 13 of Luke Satterfield, the 83 of Mark Stadolski. Row 12, the 420 of Edgar Ramon. It's great to see him back behind the wheel. If you've watched him in GT competition, you know how good he can be, but it's great to see him racing after exploits in business. He's back behind the wheel. Left side, the 99 Bob Reisinger in row 12. That's a fast car. Let's see what he can do behind the wheel. Connor Miklos, the 523, and Art Zeismer in the 15, make up row 11. Row 10, Noel Sachs and Gavin Gleitzman, the 51.
We'll go to row number 9 to go down the rest of the field. It is the 119 of Connor Ryan, who will start from the 18th spot. And in the 17th position will be the number 14 of Alex Bertignoli, recent winner here at the Autobahn Country Club, and also just now announced Spec MX5 Cup champion. So we go down the rest of the field in row number 8. In the 16th spot is going to be the number 320 of Mike Ryan. And in the 15th spot, it's going to be the 89 of Bob Grosslick. Row number 7 will have the 25 of Dave Hicks, followed by the number 101 of Kevin Ballard to his inside. Row number 6, is going to be the 09 of Lee Warner. And the number 60, last year's race winner, Taro Kushida. In the 10th spot, in row number 5, it's going to be Driver Academy winner Matteo Azzari. He leads the SM2. He's the pole sitter for SM2 in the 10th spot. And in the 9th spot, it's going to be the 71 of Greg Sorg. Row number 4, it's going to be the 26 of Scott Bowman and the 333 of Eric Halleck in 7th. Row number 3 is going to be the 190 of Scott Ballard, along with the 02 of Sean Varwick, coming off his weekend at Laguna Seca, WeatherTech Laguna Seca in the Porsche Carrera Cup. Row number 2 is going to be the 144 of Brandon Collins. He's going to be starting up in the 4th spot. He's the one to watch, going for the championship as well. Provisionally championship leader going into the final race, along with the 08 of Ethan Tyler, who's finishing off his Spec MX5 season as well in the 3rd spot. Row number 2, it's the rain man, Jim Dvorak. Unfortunately, with the rain gone, we'll see how long Jim could stay up to the front. Hopefully, he could be out there for quite some time. And on the pole, it's going to be the 157 of Matt Alexander, also championship contender as well in the final fight with Brandon Collins.
Well, we just found out about one late edition. It is the 8 multi-time champ, Mike Bernardi, who is starting Tail and Charlie. No, I didn't say Tail and Charlie for no reason at all. No. All right, so here's what I'm looking at right now. I'm seeing Mike Bernardi starting shotgun on the field. John Joe Duane, who didn't even qualify. He did with a 358.9. I'm sorry. He's at the back of the pack, just coming off a twin MX5 Cup races. Then you've got Bertignoli starting near the back of the pack, coming off of his Spec MX5 season. You've got Gavin Gleitzman also starting 19th. We've got a lot of fast cars at the back. Oh, by the way, two-time defending champion Taro Kushida starting 11th. You've got Matteo Azzari in 10th. The field is... It's so tight, but there's so many fast cars that are going to be coming up near the front.
Absolutely. You're going to have a ton of cars coming up to the front. A lot of mixed strategies that are going to be happening. And, a couple of guys even come up to me before the race and ask, what tire should I be on? And that's when you're going to have potentially mixed conditions. A couple of guys are on rains, like myself. We just came off a race on rain tires. I have a couple of guys who are thinking maybe slicks is the answer here as the track continues to dry. It's 12 laps. It's a long race around this 3.56-mile track. So as we get closer and closer towards the end of this race, we might see the rain tires, if people who are on rains, start to get out to an early lead. And then as the race prolongs, we might see those drivers come to the back and more of the slick tires come up to the front. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens throughout the course of this race. But nonetheless, we're in for an action-packed race.
And there's our in-car camera. If you're watching on the live stream, that's Bertignoli. He's going to be coming through the back, and he ran a 30.7, which would have put him 8th on the field. So that's going to be interesting. Oh, look what's on his windshield. That's going to make things just a little bit more interesting, yeah. It's a little darker looking out of our broadcast booth here. So we're going to have one more pace lap, and yep, it's spitting for those who are not here at the Autobahn Country Club. So this is going to make things just a little bit more interesting. I'm curious to see who brought the rain tires, who put on the slicks.
Well, I could tell you one thing. We could basically tell based on the pace laps who are going to be on slicks and who's going to be on rains. The guys who are weaving back and forth, potentially going to be on slicks, trying to get some heat and temperature in the tires. The guys who are just going straight forward and holding well, they're probably going to be on rains. So I'd say we go mixed strategy here. Probably some of the more experienced guys are going to go take the risk and go on the slick tires here for this race. I'd probably say I'd take a gander and say that Sean Varwig and Brandon Collins would definitely be on slick tires. But nonetheless, I think we're going to see some of these guys here just doing it out. And it's slick in some corners from myself on track. Turn 2, still a little slick on line. Turn 8, it's very slick on the inside. Turn 14 is very slick still. And even turn 16 all the way at the end, 17, 18, and 19, all still water on the inside. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out.
And that's one thing I noticed, and it's like you and Christian were taking the same lines basically, except that last lap. I noticed that Christian took a little bit inside 18. I think that's unfortunately what solidified what would have been a fantastic finish between the two of you. But regardless, that was probably the best Radical Cup race I've ever called. That wasn't at Road America. That wasn't a professional race. That wasn't with our friends Greg Creamer.
You mean to tell me that wasn't a professional race? Come on now. I get it what you mean. But nonetheless, I think, I even say this. We're potentially about to call a professional race because this Spec Miata field, I'd say, is pretty close to pro caliber talent that we have in this field.
Oh my Lord, yeah, this is a stacked field. I mean, you've got multi-time champions. You've got drivers. I take a look at Jim Dvorak. He is probably the driver who I think has improved the most over the past 4 years of this series. From being somebody who started at the back of SM2 and is now starting to become a more consistent front runner in Spec Miata. Will these adverse conditions help him? Maybe, but you also have Sean Varwig and Brandon Collins. How many times do we see them and John Joe Dwayne battle each other for that SM2 championship? Mind-blowingly, they had so many close finishes down to tenths and hundredths of a second. I would not be surprised to see more of that throughout the race. And then you've got Dave Hicks, another driver who has really improved since he started. Let's see here. You've got Edgar Ramon making his return to racing. He was a great GT racer several years ago. I'm looking, as I said, back in the back. You had John Joe Dwayne, Alex Bertignoli. Alex has been, he had to defend, Weston Workman was one of the drivers he had to beat to win that Spec MX5 championship at the SECA runoffs. The field, you can just pick somebody, follow them, and just watch them come through the pack.
I'd say one sleeper pick that we're kind of missing out here, I think, is Gavin Gleitzman. He's a kid who's come out of karting, has been really, really stellar in his first couple of races here at the Autobahn so far. He's done the Triple Crown races. He's got a couple wins under his belt as well, and especially in the Triple Crown races. He's even got a podium, too, to his tally. I think he's an elusive for potentially his first win here today. And I think Gavin, with the mixed conditions, is probably the most experienced SM2 driver in terms of mixed conditions when it comes to races like this.
And Gavin, yeah, coming through karting, that really helps in those mixed conditions. And doesn't hurt when your dad is a champion in his own right in the series as well. They'll making their way onto the North Circuit for the final time under pace car conditions. Real quick, row 1, the 157 of Matt Alexander, the 39 of Jim Dvorak. Row 2, the 08 of Ethan Tyler, the 144 of Brandon Collins. If you watch Porsche Carrera Cup, you know how to look for this car. It's the 02 of Sean Varwig and the 190 is Scott Ballard. Those are some other picks I think we should watch out for. Never count out the brothers Ballard. Eric Halleck, that's another driver. See, this is what Spec Miata is. A lot of these guys, they come, they improve, they get out to the track because it's a great entry into professional motorsports. Eric Halleck, Scott Bowman, row 4, row 5, Greg Sorg, and your fastest SM2 driver, Matteo Azzari. We've got a lot of storylines to talk about, folks. Buckle up, strap in, hold on tight because we're set for 12 laps of some of the best racing you'll see here in the Midwest. This is Spec Miata and SM2 Racing at its finest here at the Autobahn Country Club in Joliet. Lights out are on the pace car. We see the field start to pair up between 16 and 17. As the pace car will peel off onto pit road here shortly, Alexander Dvorak will have control of the field. And they'll look up and see what Kim Joyner has for them here shortly. A couple cars at the back, nothing too unstraggly, but I think we're going to get a nice start here as everybody side by side. A beautiful formation of 36 Miatas here at the Autobahn Country Club. Pace car is in the pits. Eyes are on the starter. Feel a little scraggle, but now they start to tighten up. Row 2, 3, looking good. Row 4 is fine. Kim Joyner is our starter. He's been around the country and worked at other racetracks. We're excited to have him up on the start stand. And we are green. Here goes one car popping out, and that's the 02. Actually, it's 144 Collins. He goes to second. Does he go for the lead here? As we're 2, 3, 4 wide at the back. The 157 Alexander is your leader so far as everybody starts to get single file near the front and at the back 2 and 3 wide as everybody's trying to find their space here in these first couple of corners. Here comes Alexander, your leader. He's going to make the second place of the 08 work for it. And yeah, and Jordan, I got to say, when you're bunched up at the back and all battle for the lead, it's Tyler. Ethan Tyler gets to the lead, but does he have it going into 3? He might. One car off in turn number 3. Oh, hold the 157 of Alexander with a slide. He's going to lose 2 positions. So he goes for the lead. One car spinning at the back. I believe that's a 26 of Bowman, and he gets it back underway. One car also off in turn number 3. Not sure who that is off to driver's left, but Jordan already a melee here at the start of the race.
Chaos ensues, and then we expect nothing more here with the Spec Miata series with the rain conditions happening in play. It is Ethan Tyler in the lead. Sean Varwick going to the inside of turn number 6. He's going to go side by side with Ethan Tyler as they come for the exit. We're going to see if they go side by side as they come through 7. The rest of the field coming through turn number 6. Give the spot back to Ethan Tyler. He gets the drive off the corner, but Varwick still on the inside, going side by side into turn number 8. Now, and Brandon Collins maybe looking 3 wide in the middle of 3.
And I think that Varwick's going to get that inside advantage, but Tyler, he's going to try and get back to the lead. Going to use the outside line, so it looks like it's a little slick in turn number 8. Move Ethan Tyler back to the lead. Your top 4 at single file formation. 4 now as they come into turn number 10. Tyler, we've got one car spun. That's a 25 of Dave Hicks. As everybody trying to go off course to avoid him. Left, right, sideways. As Hicks looking backwards, one car spun off. Not sure which one that is. It's the 211. That's going to be Noel Sachs. He's looking backwards as we got one car spinning. That's Gavin Gleitzman, I believe, in the 51. Yeah, that is Gleitzman as he gets off course in turn number 10. And we still don't know where our leader is. There they are, turn number 12. So right now it's still Tyler as we've got cars off course, still in the back, but everybody's slipping and sliding through turn number 12.
Look at this. And we got guys going everywhere, slipping, sliding, everything. And all in the wall, when this is all happening, I'd even say, guess who's made it up into the top 10 already? It's the 31 of John Joe Dwayne. He's already up in the top 10, up into the 8th spot, it looks like, as the field making her way, skipping around the turn 11, 12 complex into 13 and 14 for the first time.
Well, this is interesting conditions as they come around into turn number 15. Yeah, look at now he's up to 6. So Joe Dwayne really making advantage of that start as we get a good look at your top 5. The 02 is looking to the inside, not going to make anything happen.
I wonder if this is the record here at the Autobahn for most cars passing the first lap. John Joe Dwayne has now gone from 34th to potentially 6th to come across the line, all within before they even get to the end of North Track.
It's going to be interesting to see who got one car off in turn number 16, and it's probably Joe Dwayne, as Brandon Collins is the one who is back to the lead. And yep, there we go. Back. And oh, there goes Zeismer spinning off of turn number 16. So the 15 around in 16. And he's going to try and get back to it as the field working their way around once again. And one other car off, that's Gene Joe Dwayne off in turn number 16. So slick conditions really trying to make things happen. Here's your leaders, though. Brandon Collins, Ethan Tyler, Sean Varwig, 1, 2, 3. We're in with Bertignoli as they come down the front straightaway. Eric Halleck making his way to 5th. Full course yellow. We are full course yellow for the at least one of the cars off in turn number 16. Ooh, we can take a quick breather.
Sorry to advance to John Joe the way there. Commentator's curse coming into play here as I just credited him for what he was able to do, and then unfortunately we had the incident over in turn 16. But the yellow comes out for the 22-1-1 of Noel Sachs, still stuck over in turn number 8. He's kind of high-sided up on the curbing, it looks like. Right rear tire is spinning, going back and forth, and the field coming back around to complete the first lap. So with that being said, we're going to take a breather. Everybody take it calm, take a breath, as we're going to have the pace car go out there, retrieve some of these cars, and then hopefully get us back to racing here momentarily.
So we've got the 211 off, as we said, the Noel Sachs, the 15 of Art Zeismer. He's stuck there in turn number 16. So there's at least two incidents that we know of for sure. Your pace car right now is actually the 144, Brandon Collins. Here's how everything has shaken out in the past couple of laps. It's Brandon Collins, your leader, followed by the 08 of Ethan Tyler. Sean Varway sits in 3rd. Man Alexander 4th. Eric Halk in the 333 5th. 6th is the 190 of Scott Ballard. 7th, Jim Dvorak in the 39. 8th, Lee Warner in the 09. 9th, Targashita in the 60. And 10th, Bertignoli in the 14.
The 11th spot right now is the 220 of Mike Ryan. In the 12th spot is the number 10 of Matteo Azzari. He dropped back a couple spots from the start of the race. The 101 of Kellen Bauer sits in 13th. Joe McLewis in the 14th spot. John Southern in the 15th spot, and then it's Mark Basso in the 16th. John Joe DeWayne went up to 6th, now is falling back all the way to the 17th spot. Bob Rieslinger is in the 18th spot. And then we have Connor Ryan in the 119 and 19th, and Bill Hamill in the number 9 sitting in 20th.
Grosliak looking pretty good in the 21st position. He's in the 89. Mike Bernardi going from last to 22nd in the 8. Luke Satterfield in the 13, 23rd. Dave Hicks, he's 24th in the 25. Gavin Gleitzman is 5th. We've actually lost our data, so I'm going to go ahead and it is a technology fun. You lose the data 1 second, and the next second you're going through and reading the results. So, all right, so back to the results. We've got Dave Hicks in the 24th spot. 25th is Gavin Gleitzman, the 51. 26 is Gene Joe Dwayne in the 66. 27th is the 26 of Scott Bowman.
28th spot is the number 71 of Greg Sword. 29th is the car 211 of Noel Sachs, the car we were retrieving. And then 30th, rounding out the field, is the 15th of Art Seismer. And that is your full field rundown through 3 laps.
Well, 2 laps. Yeah, we're working lap 2 with Sachs. Poor Sachs just spinning his wheels and going nowhere. You know, you got to give the kid credit because he's not giving up. He thinks, I still got it. But as you know, with as much rain as we had, it's difficult for these drivers to get a hold on everything.
Well, I applaud him for doing the effort, knowing that if he could get his car going, he could catch back up to the pack here, as now unfortunately he has gone a lap down, so it is going to be even tougher for him to get back into this race. Same thing with Art Zeismer. He's still stuck over in turn number 16 as well, and he's kind of parked there for now until we get the safety team over to him to kind of continue on with the race. But nonetheless, we've been able to kind of get ourselves organized for now. We just got to retrieve these cars still, and we'll be back to green here shortly as the safety team has now attending to the 211 of Noel Sachs.
I think our friend Lee Diffie would our friend A.G. would constitute the first lap as lunacy. Drama, as our friend Lee Diffie would say. Yeah, there's the 15 of Art Zeismer still sitting there. I think he's just decided, he's going to try and get it going again. But I think it's going to be a little difficult to get Zeismer up and going as, that's just all interesting. Hey, don't forget tomorrow, a lot of fun activities are planned here at the Autobahn Country Club. Starting with the racing at the kart track at 8 a.m., practice, qualifying, and heat, as well as the last feature races of the 2024 season. I've got to say, Jordan, you and I have called the 206 races last year, the national championship, and I'm so glad that we're starting to see that become more of a thing here in the States because it gives these kids a lot of training on how to draft and how to stay, how to pass people without knocking them out of the way.
And it's also a good training ground too. Some of these kids have got a perfect example right today. We saw was Gavin Gleitzman. Gleitzman is coming out of the karting ranks, and he's been absolutely straight on, like taking the bull by the horns here at the Spec Miata series. We also saw last year's Academy driver winner Connor Willis. He's now starting to go on to bigger, better things. And it all started back in 2013 with Brick Casey when he went from basically karting out here at the Autobahn, now started racing Miatas here with cars. As we have a good look at the old Second Bank observation deck here over turn 2. All your fans out there having a good time here, enjoying the weather as much as we can. Say hi, little kids. Wave a little bit. Having some fun here. There it is. We're having some fun here at the Autobahn under this period of time. But nonetheless, all these kids excited to get out here for racing action. And I think those are 2 future Autobahn champions right there that we potentially just saw.
Has to be. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Of course, after the karting, don't forget, there will also be a costume contest. Fun for the whole family and drift rides. Make sure to reserve your slide session in the Autobahn app. Again, that's tomorrow. Also, I hear there's a pretty good brunch that's going to happen as well. Well, there's turn 8, and I do see spots on the camera, so maybe, just maybe, well, there's the pace car. Maybe, just maybe, we might have this past wave of rain that caused all the problems might be out of here as I take a look at, this race is going to be interesting. We'll say that much. We're working lap 3. Collins, Tyler, and Varwig, your top 3. We still got to get Art Zeismer out of the way as we see our wonderful drone shot.
A wonderful safety team as well. We're giving this pole to help Art Zeismer, assisting him a little bit, getting back onto the racetrack as well. And it's also a good team to also take a time to thank the safety team for all their efforts and hard work that they've done throughout the whole season. These guys put in and day out help throughout the course of the year. As remember, the track is open 6 days a week, Tuesday through Sunday, and all these safety guys are out here having to help us out throughout the course of the action.
And of course, they're one of the few ALS certified track safety teams for a private country club as well. So always great to see that they're training. And of course, this training also helps them in the real world as well when they come up on crash scenes, because some know and some are still finding out what my 9 to 5 is. And sometimes I will hear some of our safety guys on the radio coming up to crash scenes, and, it's like, oh, I know who that is. All right, so Art Zeismer's underway. So we will most likely go racing here momentarily. We'll see what the race director will do. All right, all right, lights out on the pace car. So we'll go back to green this time by Collins, Tyler, Varwig, your top 3, Alexander, Halleck, and Ballard, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Look at that shot of the safety trucks. I thank Ryan Terrapelli for providing our safety trucks as well. It'll be a single file restart with 9 laps to go as the field is starting to tighten up, and we got a little bit of sunshine there in the background. It's going to make for some great racing.
Absolutely, and I think the action is just heated up on the track. I think it's going to be even better here as we get ready to go back to green. A lot of hungry guys still out here, and I think we have Brandon Collins obviously going to be the leader. Ethan Tyler, he's hungry for a win. He is really in the need for a win as well. Last couple of Oktoberfasts, he's come up short, the last 2 Oktoberfast. And I hate to bring it up to him, but he lost in 2021 to Brick Casey Jr., lost last year to Taro Kashida just by nearly, in I would even say an inch. 2 1,000ths of a second, closest finish in Autobahn history, nonetheless, here. And Tyler's found himself in the same spot in second again. So I think Ethan Tyler, he's due. And this is his time to shine. He almost went for the lead there right at the bat at the start, but I think he knows what it takes to get a win here today.
Well, let's see if he can make it up to the front. Oh, Varwig with a little tap on the back of Tyler, making him known that he is there. Top 3, they're all can't put a piece of paper in between any of their bumpers as they come off of turn number 19. Field making their way down the front straightaway. Eyes on our starter, Kim Joyner, as we will go back to green now. Green flag is out. Here comes Varwig, looking to what will be the inside of turn number 1 as everybody kind of staying single file. Here comes the 150 stud of Alexander. He's in 4th, side-by-side 4 position. Is that Warner going to the inside of Ballard? He tries it, but Ballard shuts the front door on him as he comes through turn number 1. Varwig to the outside. Side-by-side for 2nd place as they're coming into turn 2, and he's going to try and go the 2 for 1. He's got second place. Does he get first place? He's not close enough, but Varwig makes his way into second place. Lots of battles near the back as well. Hard to tell who that is, but let's Ballard. One of the Ballards actually battling for position back there. 3 wide at the back, and cars slipping all over the place. Now we watch this battle between Collins and Varwig. First and second place coming into turn 4.
Field now kind of starting to string out a little bit here, giving themselves some breathing room and some space, but a little bit further back, it's the side-by-side battle. It looks like the number 26 potentially, I think, no, that's the 220, excuse me, going to the outside, and it's John Jodowain going to roll that outside, trying to make up some lost ground that was had, but nonetheless, back up front, Sean Varwig going to the inside of Brandon Collins in turn 6, pulls alongside him. Brandon going to try to get the drive off the corner. He does. He gets the power down and the grip that he needs, and Brandon Collins going back to the front in front of Sean Varwig.
Well, Varwig trying his best through turn 6 the past couple of times, not be able to make anything happen. He's going to try a defensive line going into turn number 8, and Collins is going to counter that. Is 1, 2, 3. It's Collins, Varwig, and Tyler. Then it's Alexander, and it looks like the and the triple 3 is also back there as well. So single file so far as we have 9 laps to go. Battle for position. There goes Ballard to the inside. That's Kevin Ballard and his teal and white Miata. So, everybody kind of testing the waters just a little bit. We see Alexander looking to the outside going into turn number 11. But still the 144, the 02, your top 2.
And I'm noticing, too, the difference between my race and these guys is that I think it's rained a lot more. As you can see, a lot more guys are running the outside a little bit more. Jim Dvorak goes to the inside. He slides up the racetrack right in front of John Jodowain, able to get the spot, slides up again, and that's Matteo Azzari who spins. The number 10 of Matteo Azzari spins across the track, goes off to driver's right at the exit of turn 11, and now he's going to try to get it going. He has 2 wheels in the track, 2 wheels in the grass, trying to get the tires spinning, but he's currently stopped right now, and now he gets going.
Well, So Azzari gets back underway as the field working their way down yet again. Let's see what happens with the rest of the field as they are starting to make their way into turn number 16. And, yeah, Alexander just getting in those mirrors of Tyler. Those two know each other very well racing. Of course, Ethan Tyler spent this past season racing in the IMSA MX5 Cup Championship. As he's been doing pretty good for his rookie year. But he's used to battles like this. Oh, by the way, there goes Alexander to the inside, side by side. Tyler shuts the front door on him as he comes through 17.
Shuts the door on him, and Tyler will hold the 3rd spot. Eric Halleck in the 5th spot right now. He's been doing a very fantastic job as Varwig tries to go to the inside to see if he can get a run, but that is a crossover move by Tyler. He drifts it coming out of turn number 9, able to keep the car going straight. Same with the man Alexander. He tried to go into the outside of Sean Varwig, but Varwig slid right in front of Ethan Tyler. Tyler tried to cross the line over. Now you got the 333 of Eric Halleck making a run against Matt Alexander, trying to go into turn number 1, and he's not able to get it. Falls back in line, and they go through 1 and 2. Varwig on the outside, trying to rim ride the outside, gets a run on Brandon Collins, able to make it stick. Varwig with a huge head of steam coming through turn number 1 into turn number 2. They're going to go side by side into turn number 1. Collins on the outside, Varwig looking on the inside. Give it to Varwig, actually, who is on the outside. New race leader, Sean Varwig in the 0-2.
Well, let's see if Varwig can hold on to this, as right now he is starting to open up just a little bit of a gap as they're coming around turn number 3. So it's Varwig, Collins, Tyler 1, 2, and 3. And the interesting part about this, Jordan, is they've opened up a gap to 3rd place. So Tyler can't even do anything right now. He's probably waving at his waving to Alexander, saying, "Hey, let's come on, let's get going." Lots of great battles though near the back of the pack, as we do see a pass between. Looks like Dvorak trying to hold off Mike Ryan in the 220.
Yeah, Dvorak able to hold off that spot right now, and I believe that is just outside the top 10, and the 11th spot as Kevin Ballard holds off the 10th spot right now. But like we said, it's all on board now with Alex Bertignoli as we move up to the field. He's up into the 6th spot right now, so all the way in the back of, let's just say, the 17th spot up to the 6th spot for Alex Bertignoli. He's showing us why he has a Spec MX5 experience and what a true champion is about in Spec MX5.
Indeed, and he's looking pretty good. By the way, did you see also above that kart circuit Autobahn, he's got the East Street Racing engine in it. Oh boy, is that a quick one. Here comes everybody down the field. Collins trying to see if he can get that lead back from Varwig as they're nose to tail down the back straightaway. Let's see if Collins gets back into the lead As Varwig going to take a little bit defensive line and not going to make it. Oh, a little sideways. Varwig, he spins going into turn number 11, trying to defend off of Collins. Deep in the weeds he goes. And now Collins gets that lead back. So the lead by Varwig, short-lived. Let's see if he can get out of that high grass. But unfortunately, Varwig trying to do all he can. Or too early in the race to get going. Yeah, he's able to get that car moving, wouldn't stop there, and that may have stunted any progress that he had, but unfortunately backing up onto a racetrack, that's kind of frowned upon by the race director.
Yeah, he's trying to get it back going and obviously trying to merge onto the track in a safe manner in the case. But a tough break there for Sean Varwig. Either lost it on the braking on the way in or maybe got a little bit of help from behind into the braking zone there. I know Collins was right on his back bumper, but we have no idea what happened there going into the corner. Nonetheless, Collins comes away with the race lead. Ethan Tyler in second, Matt Alexander in third, and it promotes Eric Halleck and Alex Bertagnoli into the top 5.
Well, that was interesting, and we're still keeping an eye on Varwig, and he may be stuck there at turn number 12, but nonetheless, side-by-side battle for the second place. Alexander looks to the inside, not going to make anything happen, as Tyler still holds on to P2 right now, as he's trying to look and see if he can get that elusive Oktoberfast win. So, with 7 laps to go, it's Brandon Collins, Ethan Tyler, and Matt Alexander, your top 3. Oh, look at Ethan Tyler squeezing up on that lead. He's not going to make anything happen. Too far away to make a pass happen, as we see that Tyler has the fastest lap of the race in second place. Looking to the inside. Now the outside is Alexander. Alexander going to see if he can make anything happen, and he's not going to. He's right there on that left rear, though, as your top 5 have really started to pull away from the pack. Keeping an eye on turn number 11 as well, as we are seeing that full course yellow. Full course yellow for the stop car of Sean Varwig. And I've got to say, it's been very, very rare to see 2 full course yellows in a Spec Miata race.
Very rare indeed, and these guys right now are just trying as best they can to kind of keep it on the pavement. But the whole part is it's just so wet off the track there that if you get off, you got to keep the car going. If you get it stopped, I know Sean in this case, he was trying to not reverse onto the racetrack, but in this case, when you came to a stop to put it back in the first gear to get going, the car was just submerged into the ground, and it was just enough to keep him stopped and not get back going.
Yeah, and these great pictures we've been seeing throughout the weekend have been courtesy of the Signature Production Group. Learn more about their audio, video, lighting, and scenic capabilities by visiting signature.tech.com. And another thing, too, about all these full course yellows, it's hard for a driver now to find their rhythm, to get into a proper rhythm, because we've seen drivers, get out there, get in the lead, and then full course yellow. And then we're seeing this, where a car's gotten stuck, which, to no fault of his own, he tried to get out in a safe manner, but the way that this ground is, with all this rain we've gotten, it has just made it impossible. If you stop, you're done.
Well, not only that, too, but it's just the weight of the Spec Miata as well. When it kind of gets settled into the ground, it just saturates into the ground, and the ground will just swamp it up. Like, it's like you're at a swamp. Like, as soon as you jump in mud, your foot is just kind of swamped in, and it gets heavier and it's harder to pull out. And the problem is with all these cars, the Miatas, they generate horsepower, but it's just not enough to get the whole car moving and with the way the grass is. So when you come to a stop, your wheels are just spinning. It's just on top of the track. You're digging yourself a hole. It becomes harder and harder to get out. That's why you need to keep the wheels going and keep the car moving at as much as you can throughout the course of a run. And at this moment, once we see cars just come to a stop, my experience as well, I had the same problem too. I had to keep mine going. But at the same time, once you come to a stop, it's hard to get back out.
It is game over. And now that the field is kind of tight, is settled down, we're going to actually let the field go by again, and then we'll go through the run group. Hey, don't forget that we're going to have fireworks after the last ceremony, and at 7 o'clock, the Gregory Hyde Trio will be performing at the clubhouse, so it'll be something fun to watch if you're here at the track. Course dinner will be served as well. Safety team headed out to get Sean Varwig out of the way, and of course we want to thank our sponsors as well. Cutting Edge Graphics and First Bank Card Processing, which, by the way, Jim Nagy, happy birthday. Great to see that. And of course, he was also out here doing work around his birthday as well with new signage. on the outside of the track. And I don't know if you saw it in turn 8, another great tribute to our dear friend Jack Murphy.
Absolutely, yes, dear friend of ours as well. But we've also seen signage of his going all around the country club. Lots of new signs have been put up throughout the whole campus. Not only that, but we've also seen some of his work outside of the club too at the racetracks. Just for instance, Rexy won the AO Racing cars as well, racing that's out in Petit Le Mans right now for the IMSA Tech Sports Car Series. Really cool design, has been iconic throughout the course of this whole year. Has probably been a trademark. Hot Wheels has gotten involved with it as well. Bunch of different marketing tools. It's awesome for the kids and everything. Jim Nagy did a fantastic job and knocked it out of the park with that scheme.
And there's our memorial to our good, dear, late friend Jack Murphy. Miss him every day. Great to see that he'd still be memorialized, as he deserves everything. Back to what we're talking about, I've got to say this. That is so neat how you have Rexy and you have Roxy as well for when Rexy's over doing the WEC races. So what we got going on with AO Racing, a homegrown team no less. That is fantastic. All right, field is working their way around the circuit. 6 laps down, 6 laps to go. It looks like this. Brandon Collins leads Ethan Tyler, Matt Alexander, and Eric Halleck. Alex Bertignoli is 5th in the 14. Scott Ballard, 6th in the 190. 7th is the 09 of Lee Werner. John Joe Dwayne made his way up from 35th all the way to 8th. I think that's a mover of the race right there. Kevin Ballard is in 9th, and 10th goes to Mike Ryan. Well, I think this yellow is going to be short-lived as Varwig is, oh no, and now the 39 of Dvorak has spun off. That is in, looks like 19. I'm going to see if we can, yeah, that's actually, yeah, that's the inside of turn 19. So we are, well, what we thought was going to be a quick yellow, maybe just a little bit longer, as another car has spun off. Well, good to see everybody's enjoying themselves on the old Second Bank Pavilion. Great to see everybody here, and I've got to say that old Second Bank did a great job. I like the lights under the tent. The TV's a nice little touch there. And, yeah, we're just going to go. And there's safety to go in the south pits. And, well, Jordan, we can take a little bit longer breather. And as a driver, if you think, okay, you're going to go green, then it's going to be a longer yellow. What does that do to you, especially in a short race like this?
Well, at this point, I would say, as the speed gets longer and the yellow gets longer too, you start to wonder, laps are starting to count down at this point, and we're just now past halfway in this race. So we're going to have 6 laps to go, 5 laps to go next time they come back down the line. So if they could get Jim going, obviously we'll have 5 more laps of racing left, but potentially if they can, we'll be down to 4 laps of racing. And Jim Dvorak was in 11th at the time and just lost it under the under acceleration, under the pace lap, and that's going to drop him all the way down to like 23rd as we get another shot of the fans up in the old Second Bank deck right there, having a good time, enjoying all the racing action, enjoying the Oktoberfast action. Like we said, it's not just because it's Saturday and the racing's capping off here today doesn't mean the weekend's over. We got drift sessions happening tomorrow, as well as we got kart racing down at the kart track as well. And you too, fans out there, if you want to, there's a karting session that happens tomorrow. You could do some rental races, so you could be a part of the racing action as well with all the young kids in the 4-stroke Margays out there.
Well, while we have a longer yellow now, it gives us time to take a look at the point standings. It's tight. It's tight. This race is going to decide, as it does every year. Brandon Collins is your points leader by 25 points over Matt Alexander. Taro Kushida, it's 3rd place. It's still a good showing. First, third the past couple of years. So great to see that he's doing quite well. Ethan Tyler sits in 4th with 720 points. Matt Keck with 608 points. So really, this is what it's going to come down to. As long as Collins stays in front of Alexander, it's his. In SM2, Matteo Azzari has done all but wrapped up that title as he's 110 points ahead of Luke Satterfield. Bob Grosliak sits in 3rd with 845 points. Mark Sadalski sits 4th with 598 points, and Chris DiMuzio, a respectable showing from him with 573 points. In the SM Rookies class, well, DiMuzio, 45 points ahead of Kevin Loffridge, and Alan Zocher has 65 points behind to DiMuzio. those are your top 3 in SM2 rookies. As I got to pull that one up. I think that one, I thought I saw that one earlier, but nonetheless, SM2 Masters, that's over. It's Mark Sadalski, your SM2 Masters champion in SM Masters. Art Zeismer has a 50-point gap over Tom Bagley. As we take a look at the standings, as cars are coming around once again. Technology ain't it great. Zeismer's in 29th of the 15, and Tom Bagley, he's up there. Don't think he's in the field, so this could wrap up the SM Masters title for Art Zeismer. When we come back to racing, it could be as soon as 4 laps ago. So we've gone from a 12-lap race to a 4-lap shootout. If you're okay, so say, for example, Jordan, you are Alex Bertignoli, you're Eric Halleck. You're sitting there thinking, 4 laps, plenty of time for me to get up near the front.
No, it's time to go. This is a race where it's time to go. I mean, yes, the lap is wrong, but the opportunities are, let's just say, limited. And especially with the kind of incidents that we've been happening and how, like, not saying they're frequent, but with how many yellows we've had and how, well, like, this race can change just on, like, a dime, you know, you got to get all you can right now. You know, there's no more playing around. There's no more waiting. It's either win Oktoberfest or you're coming home second at this point. So I expect we're going to see a lot of guys, not saying taking risk, but a lot of aggressive driving out of the top 5 or 6.
Well, looks like Dvorak is out of the grass, so we'll get him undone and move along, hopefully shortly, as the field working their way through the South Circuit. Again, it is Brandon Collins, your leader, followed by Ethan Tyler, Tim Alexander, Eric Halleck in the 333, and Alex Bertignoli in 5th. 6 goes to Scott Ballard, 7th, Lee Werner, 8th, John Jodoin, 9th, the 101 of Kevin Ballard, and 10th, look at Mike Ryan in the top 10 in the 220.
One guy that we're not used to seeing up at the, well, right now we haven't seen up at the front much and been very quiet throughout the course of this race has been the 60 of Taro Kushida. You know, guy who's been up at the front the whole entire time and, you know, has been able to kind of been up to the front and been contending for most of the wins this year, has struggled a little bit here in the wet and in the rain throughout the course of the season. Anytime a rain race has happened, he's kind of been more towards the back. That's one of the things I would say this offseason. That would be one thing I would want to work on for next season for Taro Kushida, would be potentially getting more results, like just being a little bit quicker in the rain, just to kind of improve your consistency and results throughout the course of a season. Not every race, unfortunately, is going to be in the dry in this case, as we have it here today.
Lights out on the pace car, so we'll go green this next time by. It'll be the second restart for the field, which really normally doesn't see many restarts. So to have a 2 full course yellow race is extremely rare. As we take, I'm going to pull up how many laps we've been under yellow. So we've had at least 4 laps under yellow as the field works their way around. And again, this is just so rare to see so many laps under yellow. So hopefully these final 4 laps will be nice and clean. Lute is up to 19th as well. Mike Bernardi, after starting 36. Yeah, maybe he can make a move, but with a single file restart, I think it's going to be a little bit tougher for him to get up towards that top 10. But I wouldn't be surprised to see him at the top 10, especially with so many cars going off throughout the race. There's Bertignoli in his number 14 kart circuit Autobahn Miata, powered by East Street Racing. You want that East Street power, but there's so many great engine manufacturers who build these Spec Miata races, cars. And we got to thank Sentinel for the in-car camera.
Yeah, it does give us a really good shot, both of the forward view and behind the rear view mirror, so you can kind of see what's happening behind them as well. We've been able to have this camera all season long throughout the course of the Autobahn Country Club season, and we can't thank them enough for whatever we've been able to do. Sentinel has been able to provide us with a really good camera here in this case, and it is giving us really good shots and really good onboard action.
Field working their way down 16 and into 17. Again, Collins, Tyler, and Alexander, your top 3. Halleck and Bertignoli licking their chops, trying to get up to the front. We got 4 laps to settle it. Who's going to claim the title as Oktoberfast winner for the Spec Miata race? Pace car is in the pits. Time to tighten those belts up just a little bit tighter. Make sure that wheel is nice and secure because you're about ready to saw on it for 4 more laps. Collins slowing the field down just a little bit. Tyler, he's going to get back up on that bumper, and he's going to try and see if he can draft off of Collins, make something happen in those passing zones. Eyes on the starter, Kim Joiners. He gets ready for his second restart, and we're green. Single file, but Ballard, he's going to try and make a move to make up one position to get in the top 5 side by side near the back as Bertignoli, he's going to go high, wide, and handsome around turn number 1. Going to do all he can to stay in position. There's Bertignoli's in-car camera. Look at how much he's sawing on that wheel there through turn number 1, and that's just going to be a little tough. Halleck holding position, trying to stay in 4th spot. So keep the top 5 straight as they are.
Lots of hand movements here, sawing on the wheel, just trying to keep the car straight in one piece going on through the turn number 2 into turn number 3. It is Collins with the lead, Tyler in second, Matt Alexander in third, Eric Halleck and Alex Bertignoli battle for 4th.
And here's something we haven't seen too much this race. A big lead in Spec Miata. Oh, look, it's Bertignoli trying to go to the inside of Halleck for 4th spot. He's got the line through turn number 5. Looks like he's going to take it, and yes, he does. Move Bertignoli to 4th. Now he's got a sight set on that battle for 2nd place right now with Ethan Tyler. Also got Halleck. He lost another position to Ballard in the 190, so moved back 2 for Halleck.
And the man on the charge right now has been the 31 of John Joe DeWayne. He's at the tail end of this battle, sitting in the 7th spot right now, is able to get by the 09 of Lee Warner as they go through third number 6. Right now, the field moving their way through the patience. Lock up there from Lee Warner, able to get the car settled in front of Joe Mikolos. A little bit of tire smoke there, but he keeps it going. One car off. That's the 220 of Mike Ryan off in the exit of turn number 2. Might have looks like he got the wall based on the way the tire marks are. But nonetheless, we're going side by side here. Ethan Tyler going to go defensive, and that's Matt Alexander looking on the outside of Ethan Tyler.
Depending on if we go yellow or not, this could be the battle for 2nd place. Alexander goes around the outside. He takes 2nd place decisively, but Tyler's not going to let him have it easy as Alexander slides to the outside. They're side by side through 12, and look at Bertignoli. He's sitting there in 4th place. He wants that step of the podium. Side by side for 2nd place. It's Tyler. It's Alexander. Does Bertignoli come into the dance? Tyler has the advantage right now going into turn number 13. They're still side by side. Oh, is the outside of Alexander. He gets it. Right now, your top 4. Here we go. As Bertignoli, he's going to look at Tyler. Going to look to the outside. Not going to make anything happen.
These guys are going to be bouncing off each other maybe a little bit here. He's going to go side by side, door handle to door handle, I would say, going into turn number 6 here. Bertignoli just trying to size up Ethan Tyler as they go into turn number 16. He wants to get back on the podium. He wants another race win to cement his championship run this year, that he's had this year. But nonetheless, look at the MX-5 Cup driver of John Joe DeWayne. He's entered now the 5th spot here. He's coming up to the back bumper as that was Bob Riesling is going out to the exit of turn number 16, dipped a little bit of grass. He's kind of spun. He's got to keep the car going. Is he going to be able to keep it moving? Come on now, keep it moving there. And he's kind of spinning the tires right now just at the exit of turn 16. He can back it up a little bit. He's going to try to keep it going. Keep the throttle going right now, Bob, as we need to get going. As we have coming to 3 laps to go this time. It's Brandon Collins in the lead. Matt Alexander second. Ethan Tyler rounding out the top 3.
Well, Tyler, he's going to look to the outside of Alexander. Alexander shuts the front door, and that gives Bertignoli a chance to close up. So your top 4 now, they're starting to reel each other in as we still have 3 laps to go. Side-by-side battle for the lead as Alexander tries to look to the outside. Not going to make anything happen. As now Alexander goes to the inside. He does the over-under, goes and looks like Collins. He's going to try and get that lead back going into turn number 2.
A dummy move there by Matt Alexander. Went to the outside, and as soon as they got to the break, shot to the inside. Got to the inside of Brandon Collins there, but Collins coming back on the inside. We're going to go door to door in the turn number 4. The 2 championship contenders going to go side by side, and it's going to come out Matt Alexander out on top.
Well, they were so close that they could almost touch mirrors there as they come around turn number 6. By the way, the 99 back on course. Field working their way around turn number 6. Again, 3 laps to go. They know it, and anything can happen, and anything that does happen that causes a full course yellow will end this race. So basically, every lap, every turn is like the end of the race. Bertignoli, though, with the fastest lap, and I wouldn't discount him.
I'd say these top 4 guys are all going to have one more chance where they're all going to get back up to each other, because I don't think Matt Alexander is going to be able to run away and hide from this one. He currently leads right now, but Brandon Collins running in second. Alex Bertignoli all over the back bumper of Ethan Tyler as they come through turn number 10. He'll try to get the run out of 10, going to 11. He's got a pretty decent run. He's right in the tire tracks of Ethan Tyler, trying to get a little bit of a draft. Gets a little bit of a draft, and now he grabs a gear, pops to the outside. They're going to go door to door into turn number 11. Alex Bertinelli on the outside hits the brakes hard, tries to outbrake Ethan Tyler. Going to have him by a half a car length, but as they come through turn number 12, they're going to go dead even, and Bertignoli is going to claim that spot for now. But nonetheless, go back up front. It's Brandon Collins taking the fight to Matt Alexander.
Well, now move Bertignoli to third, but Collins and Alexander side by side. Battle for third is side by side as well. So your top 4, they're all in rows, and Alexander takes that lead. It looks like Bertignoli's off in turn number 13. He's going to get back going, but that battle for the lead, that still continues. And look at that. Is that Joe Dwayne in fourth? Is that Joe Dwayne in fourth? He goes from second to last all the way to the front. Does he have a shot here at the win? Little bit of water being moved right now out of the 157. Still, Alexander goes a little wide. Collins gets back into the lead for now, but does he have enough to get that lap?
I think we're trying to set a record for most lead changes that we're going to have in this race. We have too many to count on our hands, and we still got 3 laps to go. Almost coming to 2 to go this time by. Nonetheless, Collins in the lead. Matt Alexander running second. Ethan Tyler coming up. Matt Alexander sideways. Now he's going to try to go to the outside of Brandon Collins. Collins loses traction. Alexander to the front. He goes to the point. Ethan Tyler trying to size up Brandon Collins. Can't do that. Collins holds up to the second spot. Ethan Tyler to third. Hitting that. All this battling is reeling in John Joe Dwayne as he is now in the hunt for the win.
And, of course, now everybody taking a different line, trying to defend one another. Single file, though, through turn number 1. 2 laps to go. Everybody is starting to really size themselves up through 1. Here comes the battle for second place. It's Collins, it's Tyler, but again, you don't want to make a wrong move because you've got John Joe Dwayne sitting there in 4th place, waiting for somebody to step a toe out of line and get onto that podium. What a story that would be for Joe Dwayne to get onto the podium after starting 35th. Field making their way around turn number 3. Conditions changing by the lap. Oh, Joe Dwayne with a slide off of turn number 3, but he's still able to gather it up and get back into gear, get back into 4th place.
And all this action has been happening. Check out the battle for the SM2 leader. It's Connor Mikolos who's in the lead right now in the 523. Connor Ryanson in second, the 119. And then John Southern in third in the 97. They're battling for 9th, 10th, and 11th on the racetrack, all in points. John Joe Dwayne has lost a bit of touch for the leaders right now as it is. But nonetheless, he's going to try to make his way back up front. But Matt Alexander has pulled away 8/10 of a second of a lead. That doesn't seem like a lot, but that's been the biggest lead that we had all race.
It really is the biggest lead we've had all race, and I don't think that that's a comfortable lead either. Also, I don't think Joe Dwayne being so far back is that comfortable either, because either one of those 3, we've seen them all race long make one wrong move out of the way, and that has caused them to lose any sort of advantage that they had before. Here comes your top 3 down the back straightaway for the penultimate time. It's a 157 and the 144 as well as a 08. 1, 2, and 3. We've seen everything go wrong for all 3 of those drivers in turn number 11. So far, so good as they come through turn number 12. They're starting to really get ready for that final lap. That's going to be the money lap here as Collins tries to get some air in that Miata as he tries to scoot up to the 157 of Alexander.
They're going to go into turn number 13 with 2 laps to go at this point. Matt Alexander continuing to lead. Brandon Collins hot on his tire tracks as they go through 14. Kind of running a little bit of a line, a little bit lower line. Collins gets a little bit more grip. He comes now through turn number 15. A little bit more dab of the brake from Matt Alexander than Brandon Collins. Collins reels him in. He might set him up for turn number 16 here.
Tell you what, they're testing the limit of adhesion in these Hoosier tires near the end of this race. Field working their way around. Leaders coming around turn number 16. Alexander tried to open up a gap between he and Collins. Collins, he's going to the outside. Now the inside through turn number 17. They're side by side. Who's going to get the advantage coming out of turn number 17? Right now it's Alexander. He's going to go high, wide, handsome, shut that door, come down into turn number 18. He could be the first driver to come and see the white flag. This time behind, he's opened up the gap to 3-4 car lengths. But as we said earlier, that gap, that's not safe.
He's the first one to see the white flag. Will he be the first one back to see the checkered flag? We'll have to wait and see. We have 3.5 miles left to go to find out an answer. How fitting is it that the top two in the Spec Miata Championship all year long have been 1 and 2 now here at the very end? Alexander sideways on the way in, loses the rear a little bit, collects it back up. He continues to extend the lead through turn number 2.
18 more corners, no mistakes. That's what it's going to take to not only win this race, but possibly win this championship. Field working their way around turn number 2, and Alexander's opened up a bigger gap. Everybody's gapped up just a little bit, but again, one wrong move, and there it is! Ethan Tyler with the spin off of turn number 2. Loses third place. Guess who's in third? It's John Joe Dwayne.
Ethan Tyler just losing it a little bit, comes to a stop, got to try to keep it going. There's enough grip there to keep it going, enters the track somewhat safely there, gets it back going, but back up front, it's Matt Alexander continuing to hold the pace away from Brandon Collins as they go through turn number 6 for the final time.
Down through 6, it's still Alexander Collins 1 and 2. Joe Dwayne's in a safe spot right now to where if either of those two have an issue, he will move up. Field working their way around turn 8 for the final time. Here comes Alexander Collins. He's about 15 car lengths back as they go through turn number 9. Everything's setting up for this to be another great finish here at the Autobahn Country Club as darkness settles on the full circuit. Now's the time when you got to pop open that visor if you have it tinted, because it's going to be a little hard to see, especially going into the dark part of turn number 13. The taillights are illuminated a little bit better so you know where your competitor is at the time. Coming around 11 and into 12 for the final time. So far, so good for Matt Alexander as he tries to do all he can to win another championship, but with the points gap, it may be too little too late, as Collins has had his number.
Matt Alexander has played this race perfectly. He's done everything that he can. The only thing he could have done and hoped for was Brandon Collins to have a bad race. Right now, he's been having a pretty decent race and a pretty flawless race. Damage limitation on the Brandon Collins side. We'll have to wait and see what happens, though, when the points get out. We have a huge gaggle of cars going into turn number 14, all in the back, dive bombing into 14. We got here, and side by side, that's Ballard on the inside, potentially holds onto it. The other Ballard runs into the back of him a little bit, maybe, and Bertignoli on the outside as the leaders now come out of 16 and go into 17 for the final time.
As we've got Bertignoli trying to go around the brothers Ballard, but here comes the leaders as Collins is closed up to about 5 car lengths in. Is it too little, too late for the 144? We'll see what happens through 18 and 19. But the even-headed Matt Alexander, doesn't matter what you throw at him, he still is able to go to the front. Twin checkers are out. Matt Alexander wins the final Spec Miata race of the season. Brandon Collins finishes in second. And how about finishing in third place? Let's watch this battle, though, real quick, as the brothers Ballard go side by side. And it looks like Halleck also involved in this battle as well, as they're 3 wide at one point going into turn number 18. One of the brothers Ballard's off. That's Kevin Ballard. Scott Ballard trying to do all he can to move Halleck out of the way. Down the front straightaway they come. Twin checkers out. 3 wide for position. Finishing ahead of everybody is Halleck. Eric Halleck finishes in 4th. 5th goes to Alex Bertignoli. 6th, Scott Ballard. Kevin Ballard in 7th. Ethan Tyler goes from 3rd all the way to 8th. Connor Mikolos is your SM2 winner. In 9th place, Connor Ryan finishes 10th. But the drive of the race, Jordan, goes to John Joe Dwayne, coming from 35th all the way up to 3rd.
Heck of a drive from John Joe Dwayne. Keep it calm, cool, and collected. Stay on the pavement, and look what happens. You're delivered, I would say, a golden platter at this moment. So it's served to you on a silver platter if you're able to stay on the pavement. Nonetheless, still got some cars battling all the way to the finish line. But what a race that we were able to see there, Jeremy. Lots of action there, the final 4 laps. If we got the side-by-side battle, that's Noel Sachs and Matteo Azzari. Azzari will get it. He'll go in the 13th in that case. Noel Sachs, I think, was a lap down in that part. But we also have our SF2. Connor Mikolos took the win. Connor Ryan finished the second. John Southard comes home in 3rd position.
Wow. Once again, Spec Miata always delivers, and the answer is always Miata. As we start to see more cars come across the line, that is the number 99 that we saw earlier. on that screen. What a fantastic finish. What a fantastic way to end Oktoberfast 2023, especially the sprint portion of the Autobahn Racing Series.
And it was what of a race that we have today. What a day we had today. Even though the weather wasn't in our favor, I would say, in terms of, dryness and likability-wise, nonetheless, we made the best of it. And, boy, were we treated with some fantastic racing action from all levels across the board.
Hey, keep your eyes to the skies immediately following this podium ceremony. Autobahn member Nick Foligno will be lining up the airspace over the South Circuit with an impressive fireworks display. There's your top two making their cool-down lap. And I've got to say, I said that yours and Christian's race was a testament to racecraft. That was as well.
Oktoberfest never disappoints. It always prevails. It always brings the best of the best out of all of us. That's why we all love it so much, is because we get the best racers at Autobahn that we have to offer, put them on a racetrack, and what kind of a show we can put on. And we can put one heck of a show on, as we just saw on display there throughout the course of a day. From GT, Chase Race, Radicals, and even Spec Miata, we have talent all across the board, up and down the field here at Autobahn.
All right, so your top 10 look like this. It's Matt Alexander, the 157, followed by Brandon Collins in the 144. As John Joe Duane finishes third. Fourth is the 333 of Eric Halleck and the 14 of Alex Bertignoli. That's Scott Ballard, Kevin Ballard, Ethan Tyler, Mike Bernardi, another great showing from him. He started last, finished ninth, and Dave Hicks. Well, we're moments away. You actually got to get down for your podium ceremony, so we'll let you cut you loose. Any final words?
Not much. I mean, fantastic racing that we've been able to put on here at the Autobahn Country Club all season long. Our SM2 top 10 I'll go is Connor Mikolos. Connor Ryan finished the second. John Sutherland in third. Gavin Gleitzman comes home fourth. Mateo Azari, championship provisional, in fifth. Bob Grosslick in sixth. Mark Basso finishes seventh. Great to see him out there with the Spec Miata group again. Bob Rieslinger in eighth. Gene Joe Duane comes home ninth. And Bill Hamill rounds out the top 10 for SM2. But as I was saying, today was just it's been spectacular. The best racing that we get to have all year, and it's a chance for all of us to kind of showcase all of our membership and what we're able to do here at the club. This is basically our promotional aspect to say you need to come race with us if you want a racing career, and we had the place to do it. So can't say enough for Autobahn staff. It's been one heck of a year so far, and we're still not done. We got 2 more weeks left. We also have a 3.5-hour enduro left to go before the awards night that happens on the 28th.
All right, and we're going to go down to the podium here momentarily, do results, and we'll see you down there. So thanks for another great season, and we'll see you down on the podium.